Yep, my internet fuck with me! And I need to restart my 3DS so I can connect. Because whenever my internet disconnects, whenever the internet resets, my 3D, the IP address for my 3DS so that I can connect it and use this and use my method for streaming games changes all the time. And sorry for that buzzing sound. Fuck you, internet. My internet hates me. Seriously. I need to see what IP address is now. Seriously, my internet hates me. My internet hates me. There's not much to say. My internet hates me. Good thing I saved. Seriously. Oh, come on. I hate when it crashes. Seriously. Yep, they came at the same time once the internet came back. My internet hates me. For how much have I been disconnected? Seriously, for how much I've been disconnected? Anyway, let's go back to where we left off, because again, my internet fucking hates me. Well, if you missed it, it seems that we were talking about why this room doesn't have any windows, and that's because of tax. Tax window. They tax people for having windows. Here's fun living in the British Empire. This is just ridiculous. Seriously, tax window? Come on. What does that happen to me? That's why all people that inherit their houses, they just decide to, close the windows off, huh? That's downright horrible. Nobody should have to live in a room with no light. Well, because of that, an epidemic began spreading through the country. The window tax was abolished about 40 years ago, but even now there remain traces of the effects it has had. This flat is one of the many examples. I wonder if Sasuke is not receiving enough exchange student allowance. Probably not, from what I'm investigating so far. He's renting this room at a rock-bottom rate. That's probably because of just how terrible this room is. Supposedly, Sasuke moved into this room last week. Yes, it appears so. However, there's reason to believe that this room is kept merely because of how rundown it is. Huh? Pay me no mind. That had anything to do with this case anyway. Now I can't help but be curious. Well, that's all I can say on the matter. Thank you, Mr. Holmes. Oh, that's right. Master Naruto. As I recall, you said you wanted to become a lawyer, right? Huh? You remember that? If so, you're going to defend him, the tenant of this flat. Master Sasuke, right? I don't know. What do you mean? The truth is, I already stood as an attorney in this country just yesterday. Oh, that's amazing. It looks like your dream didn't take long to become reality. But I'm so lost. I lost sight of what it means to believe in my client. Believe, huh? Hey, Mr. Holmes, there's no way. That Sasuke is the culprit, right? How would you expect me to know that? Huh? But didn't you come to this flat to investigate the stabbing? Well, yes, that was my intention at first. But there was this endless pile of freaking books, so I lost myself in the joys already. I see. Anyway, there are two truths that I come to understand. That Japanese man fled from the scene of the crime 2 days ago, and then there is a man who claims that he witnessed Sasuke committed the crime. That's all. Oh, that's right. There is one more thing. One more? What might that be? I'm not sure if this is connected to the incident, but I'm certain that it is true. That retired soldier, the landlord gentleman, he's hiding something. You mean Mr. Gary Dev? He mentioned this before, too. That's just about everything that's piqued my interest thus far. Naruto, we still haven't found any decisive leads in our investigation so far. Yeah, you're right. It may be worthwhile looking into Mr. Gary Dev's secret. Still, I can't guarantee that it's related to this case in any way. Either way, I wish you the best of luck, Master Naruto. He just ran off to the end flat. Let's go back to Mr. Garadev. Oh, you two again. I can't seem to remember his name, but he's a good detective, still hard at work. Sherlock Holmes? I was a warrant. Now that it concerns me. Yeah, he seems to be content with the progress of his investigation. That is just wonderful. Warren, another cup of tea, please. So, you both... Come watch what you're doing! Master, it is almost time for your meal. Yeah, so it is. Friends, I kindly request that you be on your own way. Alright. You have been a great help, thank you. Yeah, whenever we're going to see this guy's going to get burned. After all, it was a pleasure to have a chat with you at some faraway land. Well then, good luck to you. Now, will you excuse me? According to Holmes, Mr. Garrett was hiding something from us. As of now, we have no leads, but I wonder if we can dig something up somehow. Maybe this. This got my attention. There's a huge string set up here, as if only exists to block the way. It doesn't look like something trying to hide something. I wonder what's behind the screen. It makes me want to try and peek behind it. Maybe we should go back off for now, Sato. And me seems like she has half of mine. I just splash us with hot tea. How in the world would you justify having a Karen in your room? And to make it matters worse, it's real. I think it's nothing more than a worthless toy. Huh? When I retired from the military, the army sold it to me. You know, in case the enemy ever attacks us, it's just so that we're lying around. Without a cannon, lying around? This guy's weird. Sure, it's this crazy world we live in, you never know what might just happen next. Mr. Garrett, what do you think could possibly happen? Well, so far, Joanne uses it to dry her aprons. According to her, they dry quite nicely when she hangs them in. It's almost as if the cannon itself is hanging its head in shame. This looks like a mantle. It's set in a splendid decorated ring. It looks like the owner is quite proud of it. I'm a little worried about the way it's leaning. Oh, man. It's just an old hunk of junk. Huh? I could toss a thing, but it would be inexcusably rude to the general. So as you see, I decided to just throw it up in there on the wall. He says that, but it's very high up on the wall, and it's polished to perfection to boot. Part of the medal's here's an inscription. Let's see. Good job, medal. Well, that sounds like a medal even I could earn. Yes, well, what you see is what you get. This was a way of saying good job. Every soldier knows that one's deed cannot be measured simply by sheer number of medals. It looks like an old military uniform. It's been brushed meticulously to pristine perfection. What? You mean those silly old racks? Huh? If this is a piece of celebratory grab, I wore in retirement in my army forces. I hate looking back on the past. See, I consider turning out, but... Well, if I had to leave one thing behind as a memento of my life, I guess that'd be it. I see. I guess I shouldn't pry any more into this. And look at Mr. Holmes! What the hell's up with Mr. Holmes? What in the world is he doing there? Excuse me, Mr. Holmes. Hey there, my friends, we meet again. When in blazes did you? Yeah, yes. I didn't even see you. It's just as you surmised. It was I, Sherlock Holmes, all along. What on earth are you doing here? I have a habit of always taking in the sunset by the window right around twilight. However, there doesn't seem to be a single window in the delightful little room. So as you can see, I took upon myself to quietly borrow this little window instead. I guess this is one of his special needs. Oh, and one more thing, Master Naruhodo. Sir, I do believe that now is the time that I will need your assistance. I need your assistance in making sense of my own outstanding great detective's intellect. Does that mean you have planned this reunion at Gyakuten residence? Then, Mr. Holmes, this unassuming room guards a secret. No matter how trivial, not a single detail can escape my eye. Master Naruhodo, you are ready, I presume? Yes, I am. Let's finish this before dinner tonight, shall we? Time for a great detective's great deduction. Mr. Gyakuten, you may have been an exceptional soldier. However, I can say in any good conscience that you are well suited to being a landlord. What? That's right, I have already seen the truth. At this point, I have come to two concrete conclusions, Mr. Gyakuten. What conclusions? Let's start with the first conclusion. You are secretly harboring a vicious wild animal. Yeah. As for the second conclusion, as a result of that wild animal's vicious fury, you have lost something precious to you. Naruhodo, look. Mr. Garrett is turning pale. There's no doubt about it. Mr. Holmes' conclusions are right on the mark again. How did you? How do you know that? One might wonder. The reason is quite simple. After all, I am the king of beasts when it comes to the thick, dense jungle known as logic. Taming the wild tyrants born of Mother Nature is no simple task. Now, everyone, shall we begin? Come, one and all, to Sherlock Holmes' Theater of Logic and Reason. Deduction start. The game is afoot. The Beast. Now, boys and girls, you shouldn't need a great detective kindness to see this one. Because it's abundantly clear the most fearsome beast was drawn amok this very room. Now, that you may ask is the identity of this mysterious beast. It was seen that our girl Baron's eyes tells one would suspect. The answer lies within your very line of sight. The identity of the beast that they Western stand was revealed in this lion statue. Despite your status as a soldier, you're horribly destitute, as you appear rather frail at that. Because of this, you cling to a certain wistful admiration of the great king of the beasts, the lion. What are you even talking about? You became consumed by your burning admiration of the beast. So consumed that you secretly arranged to have a lion sent from India to your domestic. What? He has something on the face, I seen something. But taming the king of the jungle proves to be not a simple fact. As a result, this room is ravaged by the tyrant's own vicious claw mark. What in the world? Yeah, at first glance, no such beast can be found in this room. Where could that monster have disappeared to? The answer lies, if I may, madam. But what? Please harm my rudeness, but one look at you tells anyone to know. You mean that me, a lowly maid? Why, even your pocket alone reveals the whereabouts of the disappearance beast. Therefore, the secret circus peeking out of your pocket, isn't it? Huh? You scramble for some matter to wish to dispose of your lion. Balinor Circus. A traveling troupe of musicians have pitched their tent in a nearby park. Even I've seen that. And you two were going to sell off that dangerous lion to the troupe. Preposterous! And there you have it. I believe this. Here's a fact. The fearsome beast that was right this room was actually a lion. And when I went to see the circus, the lion was joyfully jumping through a ring of fire. Conclusion, circus lion. Topic 2. The rampage. So, Mr. Caravan, it would appear that you held some deep affection for such a fierce beast. Indeed, a certainly nonchalant gesture betrays your true feelings. The intense and tuberculosis is revealed by a hand of your king. It's all because you had a fearful depart with the beast so you dearly love. The pain of losing one so important to you, I know that pain all too well. No, you got it all wrong. Where, I ask, does your pain come from? Yet again, the truth is brought alive by your own line of sight. Of course, the cause of all your suffering is this bundle of bills. All of those envelopes piled over there appear to be bills. Oh. And here we have bills of a huge wagon's worth of meat, potatoes, wheat, and black tea. The cost of keeping alive a fed until devastating blow your household finances. But then, in final act of reckless violence, the beast attacked once more. Attack? And the traces of its rampage are clear. You can see the carpet below us, torn to shreds. It looks like a high-quality carpet, woven from wool. Why did something so horrible have to be on such a lovely carpet? Well, madam, it seems like your turn to tell us something now. What was the cup in the sorry state? Evidence lies within this cake stand. There's nothing in the world more dangerous than a hungry lion. I believe that certain great queen once said, if there was no bread, let them eat cake. It's safe to say that food is the catalyst of all the great tragedies. What do you mean? Having grown sick of the taste of cake, the beast set aside on prey. And what Rayful the back into a tiger's fury, I think goes without saying. There's room for one conclusion. Famished in the days of poor young king devoured the carpet. The bite marks in the carpet are a perfect match to those of a lion that was spotted in India. Point marks. Well, it is now time, of course, we get to do a review on this. And there you have it. The great deductions of Sherlock Holmes have been revealed. you had these feelings, I said. Oh, dear me, master. I hadn't even noticed. Well, spilled your tea in the face of inescapable logic to be expected. I heard tales of housewives who spilled tears as well as tea. Why? Excuse me, Mr. Holmes. Could we have another quick talk? Of course, Mr. Naruto. What's in your mind this time? Well, it's about your logic. Do you really think there was a lion running around this cramped little room? Indeed, it seems the only plausible explanation that I could think of. Quite a frightful notion, certainly not a theory that merely common sense could come up with. Maybe you should try using a little more common sense in your deductions. Suppose some sort of lion-related rampage in this room? Get to mention how Mr. Garrett that been disabled may have safe and sound. Oh please, is that all that bothering you? I worry they counted this onslaught with a great big cannon to the face. Then how they could have sold it off to the circus? And let's put the issue of the meat and potatoes aside for now. This is the first I heard of any lion drinking black tea. Well, you see, Miss Sato, here are my thoughts on the matter. No matter who you might be, when you come to visit the Great British Empire, the right to enjoy afternoon teas are put over share equally by all. That's a very admirable position, I suppose. Moving on, now it's our turn. Naruto. Right, I figure as much. Let's give Mr. Holmes' reasoning a little push in the right direction. At last, this is the one I might be waiting for, Master Naruto. I still have no idea how his deduction is supposed to be related to the case, but the pursuit of this truth can't possibly be a vain effort. At least, I hope not. Now, everyone, shall we begin once again? Come, one and all, to Sherlock Holmes' Theater of Logic and Reason. Review start. Hold it, Mr. Holmes. Now, boys and girls, you shouldn't need a great detective's guidance to see this one. Because of it's abundantly clear that most fearsome beast was run amok in this very room. Now, I guess, what is the identity of this mysterious beast? It would seem there are very good bare eyes that are lots more than one would expect. What? The answer lies within your very line of sight. The identity of the beast that lay waste in the sand is revealed by this lion statue. I find it hard to believe that he'd bring a lion in here. Well, one look at Mr. Gary's reaction should tell you that it's indeed true that some manner of beast destroyed this room. Wow, that sounds crazy, but at any rate, we can be certain there was not a lion smuggled over from India. In that case, what could the beast be? Focus on Mr. Garrett's line of sight. That must be where the truth lies. Wait a minute, this picture frame. This photo. It looks like it's been taken on his wedding day. He looks incredibly happy here. Well, he's happy, but we can't see his wife's face. Unfortunately, the glass is cracked beyond all repair now. I wonder what happened, but maybe I shouldn't think too hard about it. Take that! The identity of the beast that laid waste on this den is revealed by this, Miss Garrett. Right you are, Master Naruto. There's not a single other suspect, eh? The person depicted in this photograph is your wife, is it not? Sadly, with the photograph in this state, we are unable to see her face. But what can we see is a considerable amount of force being exerted by those arms. Verily, in this case, calling her a beast out of respect is perfectly acceptable. I'm not so sure about that. Regardless, the one and only true when the rampage in this room was Mr. Garrett's very own wife. Ah! This room is left radish and tiresome vicious summer. What in the world? Yeah, at first glance, no such beast can be found in this room. Where could that monster have disappeared to? That answer lies, if I may, madam. What? Please pardon my rudeness, but just one look at you tells me all I need to know. You mean, me, a lowly maid? Why, even your pocket alone reveals where I was of our disappearing beast. What dare you have? Putting your poor lady on the spot and call her a beast? Well, I'd say that you're still out of how frail she is. Indeed, his wife does seem to be missing from this room. Then, the clue that reveals her location must be hidden somewhere on the maid's person. Where could Mr. Garrus wife me? The maid is wearing an enormous ring, and is decorated with a sunflower pattern. Plus, she's wearing it on her ring finger. It must be a wedding ring, I'm sure of it. With fingers like that, I doubt she will be able to take it off if she tried. You really shouldn't say things like that. Speaking of which, do you remember that photograph I saw? Wasn't there a very similar ring with the same teeth? Oh, there was, huh? Good eyes, side out. A huge ring with a sunflower pattern, huh? There's no way this is a coincidence. Take that! Why, even your wedding ring alone reveals the whereabouts of our disappearing beast. Huh? Precisely, that betrothed ring shining upon your finger, that's it. It's a perfect match with the one on Mrs. Gary Dead's finger in this photograph. In other words, Miss May, you are no mere maid. Indeed. You are none other than Mr. Gary Death's wife. Well, I'll be. I should expect no less from the great detective. You guessed right. This is my wife, Joanne. You know, you look now, but back in the day, she was radiant, a real dazzler. Ah! From what I can see, your life's anything but radiant. As you are a retired veteran, have been reduced to renting out vacant rooms, yes? Yeah. As such, you lack the income to hire a maid, am I mistaken? But as a former captain of the third platoon, I still have my pride. Yet now, why can't you but hire a single maid? Isn't it just pitiful? Here in London, whether or not your house is a maid at its disposal is effectively the borderline between lower and middle classes. If you ask me, I feel like it's pointless to worry over things like that. Then the bees, your wife is pretending to be a maid. That about sums it up. What do you have to say, Mr. Gary Depp? Of course, it's not only when visitors come calling. Please, keep this a secret. Oh. Not just a secret, confidential. Mrs. Gary Depp solved. Oh, Mr. Gary Depp. It would appear that you have some deep affection for such a fierce beast. Indeed, that's a nonchalantly gesture betrays your true feelings. Look. The intense pain you barely reveal, right at the hand on your cheek. Wow. Good old Mr. Holmes still treating Mrs. Gary Depp like a beast. Speaking as a lady myself makes me feel almost as bad as she does. Anyway, Mr. Gary Depp's wife standing right in front of her. That means she didn't lose any beloved piece. Oh. You're right. If we take into consideration, then perhaps there is some other meaning behind the way he's covering his cheek. In Mr. Hall's old words, Mr. Gary that felt some kind of pain. I should think about what Mr. Gary Death's expression really means. Oh my god. Whoa, his face is all red and swollen here. I don't know that mark anywhere. It's a result of a bona fide bone slap to the face. It must have been a really intense slap to leave such a clean mark. Such a astounding finesse. I've never even seen such a beautiful slap. But then, who do you think could have slapped him like that? Yeah, I wonder. It's not like we have a ton of people to choose from. Take that! The intense pain you bear is clearly revealed by that slap mark. The aftermath of a slap from a considerably strong arm remains engraved on your cheek. Madame Yuan Gardep, I can only assume that it was your doing. Oh dear. And you, Mr. Young Gardep, you were hiding your pain from us. Hiding your pain from us. Yeah. Oh, how do you come to know so much? I am a master of the Gyakuten. Not a thing on earth can obey my son. That's why you never look directly at us. You are trying to keep your shit hidden. Now let's move on. We have more to discuss. For example, why in the world did her palm come to strike your face? To ask more directly, why would Madame Garrett slap her own husband? Yet again, the proof is hard to lie by your line of sight. Of course, the cause of all your suffering is this bundle of bills. I remember, those bills were for a last year of food, but now we know that there was never a line. Then I wonder, who wolfed down all that line feed? If I had to guess, it must have been Mr. Gary Death's wife. Hey, don't call it feed and say she's some kind of animal. Well, call it what you want. In the end, we know that Mr. Gary Death had to take a slap to the face from his wife. And worse, he hit so hard that we can clearly see the print. I wonder why she ended up slapping this gentleman. I'd rather know too. What is this? This book has a bookmark set in it. It appears it was a Gary doesn't enjoy reading. Oh, hang on a sec. This doesn't look like a bookmark. You're right. It looks like a woman's writing is scrawled here in ink. Oh, James, how long her love Mary? And the signature just looks to be it's a kiss mark. It's been kissed by a woman with lipstick. My goodness, how passionate. I was never so romantic. Suddenly satisfied and drafted by this random kiss mark. I do beg your pardon. Anyway, this bookmark looks like to be a love letter after all. Take that! Of course, the cause of all your suffering is this love letter. Oh yes, how long? This seems to be quite a passionate letter. Perhaps the sender, Miss Mary, is the one who slapped you? Yeah! But I swear, I don't know such a woman! You don't know her. That love letter isn't even addressed to me. I mean, well, that thing was already shoved into the book before I even laid eyes on it. It was already in the book? Most definitely, without a... Out! Sure it was. For heaven's sake, Yuan, I've already explained this to you. I bought this book from the used bookshop. That thing was in there before I even saw it. So basically, the book's previous owner used the letter instead of a bookmark. Yes, that's what we're trying to say! Sure, they did. Okay, first of all, look at the names. Clearly says James. My name is John, you know that. Sure it is. Ugh, what? Do you think even my own name is to be doubted too? As you can all see, a woman's paranoia can make her snap like a beast, and make her slap like one too. Ugh. But then, in the final act of reckless spine, and the beast attack once more. Attack. As the traces of this great rampage are clear, see this carpet run, shown to shreds. This should be a high quality carpet, woven to wool. Why did something so horrible have to befall such a lovely carpet? Well, madam, it seems like your turn to tell me something. And the answer to my question is in your eyes. Well, wasn't left the carpet in sorry state? You have mice in the cake stand. It can't be. Did his wife eat the carpet? Of course not. That's just silly. However, I'm pretty sure the disaster that befell this room is a result of his wife's rampage. So it would seem. Not a hood. We final closing on the end this time. The answer must lie some at the end of Mrs. Garrett's line of sight. Got it. Let's get cracking on that examination. Okay. This looks to be a very old candelabra. The pedestal is so small that I'm worried about its stability. It looks like it will fall over so much as sneeze this direction. Oh dear. That would be dangerous. Whoa, Sato, take a closer look at this candelabra. It looks like one of the candles is missing. Oh, you're right. Why is one of the candles missing from this candelabra? Take that! What was left this carpet in the sorry state? The evidence lies in the candelabra. Exactly. There is a you found the exit of this labyrinth of pure logic. There what appears to be bypass perforations this here. Indeed, those would in fact be burn marks on the edge of the carpet. Burn marks? Yes, I see that there was quite a lava squirrel in this little room. When Mrs. Garrett slapped her husband in the face with the stout arm of hers, the impact caused one of the candles to fall off from the table. Then the fire from the candle spread to the carpet and burst into flames. Surely, of all the beasts in this world, fire is the most dangerous. And that's when the beast rampage this room. Thus, we are left with one conclusion. This room was the scene of a house fire sparked by a hidden lava squirrel. You have to say that. You really are as good as they say! Bite marks? House fire. Solved. Deduction complete. Elementary. I always enjoy passing the long winter nights reading the books next to the fire. I purchased an old novel from a used bookshop nearby, but between those three old pages, there lie quite a scandalous item. And thanks to that, Mr. Gary Deslides began to interrogate him. It was more than just an interrogation. She went outright berserk. Really, you were too far off on the mark when you call her a beast. Oh! She's still doing that. And it is really those marks of the carpet what caused a candle. Indeed, the whole fiasco happened in the blink of an eye. The moment of the flames flare up, the whole room was engulfed in a thick smoke. It sounds like you've been through hell. I bet it will be fun to watch. Seriously? Unfortunately, it was long before the fire spread to the furniture. Right now, the short remains remain hitting at that screen. You mean this over here? I think it's time for me to bring it and hide. Now, you don't mind. Whoa. All of my favorite old books were lined up on that bookshelf, but now they've been swallowed by the flames, burned to a crisp, just like that. Whoa. And to add it to injury, my very own wife threw those books at me in her fury. Sounds like a truly terrifying scene. She rolled me back at the window, assaulting me with random books. I ended up losing the adventures of the Lion's Mane, and I was just getting into the good part. The adventure of the Lion's Mane? You really do seem to have an affinity for lions, don't you? Not really, that's not the reason I picked it up, at any rate. In the end, he lost something important to him at the hands of a vicious beast. Another spot-on deduction. Has no surprise coming from Mr. Sherlock Holmes. This truly must be one of the most cryptic mysteries in all of Britain. Mr. Regan Flames, my wife carried on with her rampage. It was absolute mayhem. By the way, do you remember about what time all of this happened? It was nearly the evening, right around 5 o'clock, 2 days ago. At the same exact time, a terrible crime was occurring just outside your home. I'd say the crime taking place here was just a bit more terrible. Even if all the Great British Empire was collapsing all around my home, I dare say I wouldn't even have noticed. Oh, I see. Mr. Holmes? Yes, what is it, Master Naruto? Now that we know everything about the Garrett couple, how exactly is it supposed to help us with Sasuke's case? You're asking me, how should I know? What? Don't you remember what I said before? I said that this friendly retired soldier was hiding something. But I say that I couldn't guarantee that he could be related to your case. Gah! I should have known! There, no need to look so glum, Master Naruto. You see, there are two types of things in the world. Things that are, and things that are not related to the case at hand. Nothing else exists. I have no idea what you're talking about. Anyway, you're running out of time. It's about time you make up your mind. Huh? Visiting hours at the gal are about to end. I didn't realize it was this late. If you intend to take up on Sasuke's defense, you need to take a written appeal from him and complete the proper procedures. I'm almost out of time. On that note, we must ask that you take your leave. It is now our dinner time. Yes, ma'am. Please excuse us. Thank you so very much for allowing us to speak with you. Sosuke's waiting for us at the gaol. I have to give him my answer. Well, let's go to the gaol. Why we're on Briar Road, I select the gaol. We have no time to waste. Let's make for the gaol. Yeah, we really ought to. Let's see if we can hail a... Huh? What's the matter, Naruhodo? It looks like there's some sort of argument going on in front of Sosuke's flat. Huh? Well... Come on, this guy looks ridiculous. This guy looks ridiculous. Even if he is the culprit or what. Who are you calling, Todd? You're what to tell you we're calling it. There are more things we haven't than her. Like, yeah. Then are dreamt of your philosophy. Oh, will you knock it off? I know what I tell. Gonna win the theatrics. I beg your pardon. Who are you? We just happened to notice some sort of dispute going on over here. This man here is Ryunosuke Naruhodo, attorney at law. Huh? He's the attorney. If you like, I can hear your case. I may be a foreigner, but I am still a lawyer. Forget it. I ought to be heading back for the day, but... Don't you think this is over here? Get thee to a nunnery. Like hell I will. You are all weirdos. Sir, are you hurt at all? I am fine. I must express the dearest gratitude of beautiful mating parties. What exactly was just going on? There are more things in heaven than earth, Horatio, than are the dream of your philosophy. I'm not Horatio either. Pardon me, but are you another tenant of Mr. Gary Depps? Yes, undoubtedly. Oh, gracious damsel of the Orient. That reminds me, there were 2 tenants of the Gary Depps home, weren't they? That must mean this guy is the other tenant. Excuse me. Might you know the other tenant who lives on the 2nd floor of this house? His name was Natsume, a former Japanese power in the 60s, with whom I engaged in a heated debate. A debate? Gregor Hamlet, who was stronger. I must say this argument caught me off guard. I don't entirely understand the relationship, but they do seem to be acquaintances. In any case, I've no more energy to detain you here any longer. I bid you farewell. I understand even less than I did before, but he seems to have run back to his room. I don't get the impression that he knew anything about Sosuke's case. With the Sosuke and this guy, this man has some serious issues. As I said before, I'll go help Coach. Okay, I'm sure Suzuki's waiting for us. Hell hide in anticipation of her return. We gotta get to the gal before visiting hours are over. And there he is. Come on. Oh, Wyatt! Oh, I'm still lost in Naruto. You got bad for me, Suzuki. I am overcome with emotion. We sincerely apologize for being so late with our return. No, please, all is well. I beg you. Worry not, relax. Can you please stop shaking? Also, like I said, this guy is actually... Well, he's mostly based on a real guy named Natsume Soseki, who was in London during the 18th century. And just like he said, sent by the Japanese Empire to study about English culture. Once again, I may know the joy of fellowship with my countrymen in this week's land. Praise the motherland! Please stop posing! Can you please stop posing? No need to get so worked up, Soseki. Indeed. I wish for one's humanities is a warm, one's own home. However, on the other hand, there is true meaning to be found in friendships that cross geographic boundaries as well. Oh, cool. At least that's what I believe. The way that he's just, come on. You, it's you! Damnable cursed spy! The Sherlock Holmes! Mr. Holmes, what are you doing here? If it's what I'm doing here that you're asking, really, I'm just stopping by for a spell. What do you mean, Mr. Holmes? While I was in that gloomy little room, I read a certain book that caught my eye. And while I was at it, I uncovered that hated couple's secret. And so, on my way home, I found myself wondering, how are you faring? Gloomy room? Even this cell is one tiny window and it's preferable to that hovel. However, I must admit that your taste in books is impeccable. Thanks to you, I had a fun day. Why you? The Sherlock Holmes! What's the use? I'm just a bloody fool. Very aggressively coming to the Great British Empire was a mistake to begin with. I've been possessed by the ghost of that cursed lad. Tomorrow's trial too will be cursed. Oh, what was my cursed existence? What's on your mind, Naruto? I was just thinking, Sosuke. I think you said the same thing before. You said your flap was cursed, right? Perhaps Mr. Mustache was way truer than we thought, huh? It may be appropriate that they are all cursed, including tomorrow's trial. And the flat. What is he on about? Earlier, you said tomorrow's trial. What exactly do you mean by that? Well, I don't take that so seriously. I really didn't mean to enter by that, but I was caught up until the moment. Okay. You don't have to scare me like that. Don't tell. Tell me, is it a real curse? Sorry, it's just that I'm writing. I'm also speaking with someone else. I'm sorry. I do. Sometimes that always happens. I just get caught up in multiple things. Also gives me time to. Also, it does also give me time to read because talking too much. Green Ripper, what did I call it that? Please give me a concise explanation in haiku form. Has to be 17 syllables. Sinner or hero, no accused can escape death in the Reaper's court. And I think that they should have moved the letters a bit more up in this part. Oh, it's perfect. Realize you had only 17 syllables. Yesterday, Naruto managed to win a not guilty verdict, I guess. Sinner or hero, no accused can escape death in the Reaper's court. However, after the trial ended, the defendant lost his life. Mr. Mangendal. What? Why would you pick up on that? Lord Chief Justice Vortex told us. Mr. Holmes, this is just a guess, but does Barak Van Sykes personally kill people that he couldn't prove guilty? That would be dreadful. You're one funny guy. Huh? But really, that man is no murderer. He's just a prosecutor. I see. Of course. It would be improper of him to kill. Although, the truth of the matter might be even more terrible than that. What could possibly be worse? The truth about the Reaper. Baron Van Sykes is a very capable prosecutor, but when it comes to London courts, no matter how capable you might be, victory can never be assured. Oh, is that true? Sounds like he sure looks happy. Remember, the judicial system in Britain involves both a judge and a jury. The judge delivers his verdicts based on the law, while the jurors represent public opinion. The defendant is put on trial under those two perspectives. It's a great idea on paper, but public opinion can easily be swayed. Easily swayed. That's where villains and unscrupulous attorneys are liable to strike. Bribery, forgery of evidence and testimony, they'll do whatever it takes to win. And if they can successfully make an impression on the jurors, no matter what decisive evidence the prosecution comes with, they've already lost. But what of the truth? Won't they jump on an incorrect verdict? Unfortunately, that's the reality of the situation. I can't believe it. However, those that are prosecuted by Van Sykes cannot escape their fate. What? Even if they could not guilty, their joy won't last long. They ended up mysteriously disappearing within a few months every single time. Disappear! Oh! Well, it's different every time. One man was trampled by a carriage, another one drowned in the Thames. Then another man caught a mysterious fever, and yet another was murdered by highwaymen. But my goodness. This is the reality of London, Master Naruhiro. Truly. Is there no hope? Can you please stop posing? By cursed land, you must be referring to Mr. Gary Depp's home, right? Can you explain what's so cursed about it? It's been about a year since I came to live here. It only took me a single week to start losing my mind. What? That didn't take very long, huh? Everywhere I look, foreigners, no matter how I hide, they'll look down on me and laugh. As the loneliness and paranoia overtook me, I grew scared to even leave my home. I felt that someone was always watching me, every walking hour watching and laughing. Even when I cut myself into my room, that fear still would not leave me. It must have been very lonely to be so far away from Japan. Again and again, I moved from place to place. It was last week that I moved to my current flat. Why did you choose that room, though? It didn't seem like a very convenient place to live. It's all because the rent was cheap. It was slot jack and all when I saw a prime. I've only asked the owner why this price was so low. He then responded with a terrifying grin. You see, that room is cursed. Oh, excuse me, that was just a slip of the tongue. At that point, he climbed up the nerve of that man. If you're going to say anything, at least finish your sentence. Otherwise, shut up. Good rule to live by, I guess. And it turned out that what he said was true. So do you mean that room really was cursed? Ever since I moved into that windowless room, every day I had nightmares of being strangled, waking up as I'm on the verge of death. And now they label me a criminal, arrest me. When I grant a trial, a fighting chance of freedom, no authority will stand by me. I'm forsaken. This guy won't stop posing. Oh, if only I had a single ally in the world. If only one person would truly believe me. Leave. Excuse me, Mr. Holmes. Wait a second, Mr. Huda. Do you remember the incident in the SS Claire? Claire. Oh, yes. That one with the snake, right? Back then, you listened to me and believed what I said. You even helped with the investigation. Did I? Why do you believe me? Let's see. You mean to ask why I trusted a suspicious Asian who was hiding at the scene of the crime? Yeah, sure. Come on now, this was easy. You don't remember. You told me yourself that you weren't the culprit. But I could have been lying. Didn't you have at least the slightest doubt over whenever or not I was a criminal? It appears that you are sorely mistaken over something here. I don't recall ever believing in the words you said to me. Huh? After all, the only thing I believe in is myself. What is that supposed to mean? I always decide for myself whether or not something is the truth. I'll believe in whatever I want to believe. It doesn't matter who's involved. But I could have betrayed you. That would simply mean that my judgment was off. That's all there is to it. It has nothing to do with someone potentially betraying me. I couldn't care less about that. Oh. When it comes to trusting someone or not trusting someone, all that matters is whether or not I can trust my own self. All there is to it. That's right, he speaks the truth. Substitute law student Naruto. Can I believe in myself? An attorney's worth is measured by how much he can believe in his client, along with how much he can believe in himself. Oski. Oski. Seriously, can I say, I don't know, I'm liking more of this Sherlock Holmes. Seriously, what's up with this guy? Despite of the way he acts, well, you really see that he's actually really wise. Damn it. Oski? Well, everyone, it's just about time we head home. Oh, visiting hours are over. I'm sure a guard will be here for us soon. There's a nearby restaurant that serves us excellent trout dishes. What do you all say? I suppose yes, currently. Hey, Soseki, about tomorrow's trial. Any chance will you really let me defend you? Substitute law studying Naruto. Yesterday, I stood in a British court for the first time. The defendant was ruled not guilty, but I found myself unsure of something crucial. What could be more crucial? What should I believe in? Justice, my client, or the truth? But now I finally understand. I choose to believe in myself. Naruto. And I believe in you too. You are no criminal, Soseki. It's my duty to prove that in court. Substitute law student. I'm ready to fight for you and everything I got. I'll keep fighting until the very end. Tell me, will you let me defend you during tomorrow's trial? As I said from the very beginning, I wish to entrust my fate to a fellow countryman who's willing to lend an ear to my words. Soseki. Master Naruhodo, your heart was already set on this from the very outset. It simply took a day like today to make you face your feelings head on. Yeah, I think you might be right. Though I feel like it was quite a detour before I reached this point. Sasato? Yes, sir? Tomorrow, will you stand by my side again? Will you assist me again? Of course, I absolutely will. As I said this morning, I'm your legal assistant after all. So, next part, we're going to go to court. The shock from yesterday's trial still weighs heavy on my heart. But it's time to stop looking back. There are people who believe in me, like Asagi and Mr. Holmes. So there's only one thing I can do. I have to try to believe in myself, for the sake of the very things I believed in. And for the lonely, desperate, and friendless people in the world. Tomorrow, I will fight as my own life depends on it. Yep. Clouded coconut. So here we go. Let's go to the trial of this case. 20 February, 9:23 a.m. Old Bailey, defendant lobby. I can't believe it. I'm already back in this courthouse. We came here as exchange students to learn the legal system of this country. As such, we must stand in court to advance our studies. Yeah, you're right about that, but this is a once-in-a-lifetime moment for the defendant. He could decide his entire fate. I can't bring myself to call just another day of studying. And we really don't have much. You have a point. Good morning to the both of you. Soseki! Oh, good morning, Soseki. Your eyes look completely bloodshot. Saying in my land, the early to rise gains some small benefits. Yeah, I heard that. After all, I'm Japanese. So waking up early earns me a little extra that I not sleep for even an instant. I had one night the benefit would add up to a single penny. I know, I just see such a drowsy state. Does he think a not guilty verdict only worth a penny? Richard, thanks, Soseki. My divinely the great destiny is per our fleeting life. I really entrust it to you. How nervous I am! I know. Also, it's not much more surprise now that I will continue. I will finish this game because, like I said, the translation finally translated the final case. So here we are. I still understand, but the part about being nervous definitely shines through. I'm glad you understand. So very glad. In any case, substitute lost it in Naruto. Yes, what is it? Just a moment ago, I was able to catch a glimpse of the courtroom's gallery. There was as many people present as will be on the opening day of the Great Theater. It is my impending judgment so popular. Why is my impending judgment so popular with the London public? There was that many people. I don't know that. I would happen to know why, Sato. I can't really say that I do. Look at her face tells me otherwise. Please do not hide the truth from me. Could it possibly be because of the Grim Reaper? Prosecutor Ben Sykes. Is that why, Sato? I went out and bought all of today's newspaper. And indeed, Prosecutor Van Sykes was on the front page of every single one. He was right. After he earned the title of Green Ripper, for a number of years he avoided the courts. Right. Inspector Gregson said the same thing yesterday. The trial 2 days ago was a survival after so many years. A horrifying case of Cosney Mengeldal. It caused an even greater uproar within London than today's coming trial. And we had no idea, only just having arrived in London. And why was it decided to prosecute such a trivial case only 2 days later? Each newspaper is spreading their own speculation. Trivial to me is the most important thing since the foundation of Japan. But my apologies. It's the newspaper that kept saying it. Well, I suppose this will further fuel the blaze of international tensions. Though it is odd that this prosecutor was suddenly awakened from his long slumber. There is one similarity between the two trials that have been prosecuted. Indeed, I feel the same way. Of course, that would be you, substitute law student Naruto. Me? I guess that does make sense. In the two trials of the newly revived Green Reaper, one attorney stands against him. Dear me, some of this is stuff. You two might be good friends. Don't be ridiculous. I don't make friends with bringers of death. If that's true, then there's one possibility. You'll have incredibly, hopelessly, irretrievably poor luck. That's a little dramatic. Oh, defend by editor with such effort luck. What's what life comes to? This unpredictable misfortune is surely more monumental than the foundation of Japan. Foreshadowing. Come on. Seriously, this is... I don't think I've ever seen so much foreshadowing than before. But you're the one who entrusted me with your fate, Sasuke. I'm just a student with no luck, experience, or real ability, and I've only just arrived in London. But even so, I'm prepared to believe in you and fight to all I have in me, until the bitter end. Oh, substitute law student Naruto. We're not alone in London anymore. Whatever it may come, we stand beside you. Oh, legal assistant Sato. Then I, Sasuke, humbly, respectfully place my life in your hands. Defendant, attorney! Court is about to begin. Make your way to the courtroom at once. Looks like it's time. Let's go, Sasuke. Yes, sir! It's going to take long until the second game comes, because from what I've heard, it's really big. The second game is really, really big. I'm about to begin. My second trial standing in a British court, and My second time facing the Green Reaper. Watch over me, Asagi. This time I'm ready to believe in my client true and true. And I'll follow what you taught me as well. I'll believe in my own skill as an attorney as I fight on. To 20 February, 10 a.m., Old Bailey, Crown Court. In the name of Her Majesty the Queen, we declare this court is now in session. Ask prosecutor defense, have you fully prepared your case? I will say, I actually missed the whole, the openings of the courtroom, you know, the whole, day one, court is now in session. All rise. I missed that from the main games. I really have to wonder, what will the next journey game be? I really wonder. The prosecution is ready. The defense is ready. The creatures known as Japanese truly are fascinating. Why do you say that? I heard about you from Lord Vortex himself. 2 days ago, a pair of green horse students just arrived in London. What of it? You wish to see the defendant who happens to be your countryman. Typical Japanese hubris. I apologize for interrupting, but I don't consider that hubris. Susato. As I recall, our last trial ended with a not guilty verdict. So it was, and what the cat and verdict it was. Yet, so true you're cherishing. Okay? After the trial ended, the defendant met his own untimely demise. Yes. Very well, it appears the trial is safe to proceed. Sensible citizens chosen by the capital city. Be right back. Are you all prepared? As gentlemen, I shall fail to fight for justice today. Mela. What the hell are you doing here? You know, I can be a lot meaner than I look. Yes. As you can please see, I am but a mild-mannered young man. Honestly, that mustache, man, seems so tight liable to do just anything. Well, what the hell are you doing here? Let's get this started already. He's gonna be guilty of something. Huh? What was that? I can't hear you very well. Very well, then. With that, we shall begin the trial post haste. Norman 6, your opening signature, please. What the hell are you doing here? Mere days ago, a great empire forged an alliance with an island from the far east. The defendant is a visitor from that very nation. Sosuke Natsume is his name. We welcome this exchange student to our empire with open arms, and yet, to our shame, that very student has committed the most heinous crime within our capital. He stabbed a poor innocent woman on the street using a knife. What in the world? I dare say, stabbing someone with a knife is as low as you can go. What the hell are you doing here? Look, your face, a tiny statue. There's definitely a gap. And here goes more racism. Oh my god, the racism in this game. Like, seriously. I don't care what to do, just bring this to a close, ready, set, go. What did you say? I can't hear you so well. How insolent of me to let the Holy Grail loose at the trial, sons. I plead your forgiveness. At this time, I wish to summon our first witness to the court. Very well. Call for the inspector responsible for leading the investigation of the crime scene. Why the hell are you still eating fish and chips? Witness your name and occupation. Yes, sir. My name is Tobias Gregson. I am an inspector at Scotland Yard. Go on, Inspector. Please describe the events of this case for us. Yet this game is so good, and they're going to say that this game is racist, despite the fact that they don't say why the game has racism in it. A Japanese game has racism against its own Japanese people. Yet they don't see why. This is the 18th century, which racism was still common. You relieved the exam as a 20-year-old woman named Meridian Green. Hold on. What do you mean by believe? All we know is that the victim was stabbed in the back with a knife. 3 days have passed since the incident, but she still hasn't regained consciousness. What? That's crazy. So she's unconscious. Is she at least in stable condition? Fortunately for him, this Japanese student was just narrowly avoided aboard the case. Inspector Gregson, I implore you to explain the incident in more detail. Yes, sir. Everyone, have a look at this map of the general vicinity of the scene. The incident occurred 3 days ago at around 5 o'clock in the evening. The scene was pavement alongside of a wide alley for coaches on Briar Road. The victim, Miss Green, was walking around the pavement where shown stump hill. But then the defendant sneaked up behind her and plunged a knife to her back. Fortunately, she managed to cling to her life. She's currently admitted to a local clinic. For so long as she remains unconscious, we are unable to request testimony from her. These are the victim's files. Very well, the court accepts them as evidence. Case files. You brought up the weapon. Sir, I have it right here. It was found in the victim's sack. That's one here's knife. I sure hate to be stabbed by that thing. With such a heavy-looking knife, even a weaker person could stab someone with ease. In other words, even a wimp like Sosuke could have done it. That's quite a plain-looking knife. But well, we will accept the knife as evidence. So, What was the corporal's motive? Surely he meant to take our valuables. Let's examine this. Wait a minute. Oh, Nanahudo, take a look at the tip of the knife. It appears to have been chipped slightly. Oh, you're right. Good eye, Sara. But where could the tip have gone? That's a good question. This is just a guess, but might still be stuck in the victim's wound. That sounds quite painful. Could be. Judging by the eyes of her person, the victim was but a poor student. I surmise he wouldn't have any valuables worth stealing in the first place. In that case, perhaps the perpetrator had some sort of resentment towards the victim? We still don't know. The exchange student seldom goes outside, except to visit the used bookshop. A person will have yet to find any link between the victim and the defendant. Hi! Sir, if it wasn't a robbery, has no judge. The Sosuke have no reason to stab Iridian, and yet you still arrested him. Doesn't that seem a bit too rash? Objection. That was unintentionally hilarious. Oh my god. This guy gonna get really hilarious. That's what I love about the series. How impotent of me to cast my freshly opened bottle into the gallery. I plead your forgiveness. However, it is your own words that shall be called trash. Huh? Naturally, Scotland Yard will not arrest a man without just a cause. Inspector Gregson, I order you to testify. Explain to us exactly why the police arrested that man. As you wish. Witness testimony. Why we arrested Soseki. It was around 5 p.m. when the incident occurred. That day the fog was unusually thin. The crime scene was an open area with high visibility. Nobody else was present. The victim fell on the ground after he was stabbed in the back. The culprit may run for it, but as he fled the scene, he robbed the items he was carrying. The items in question were all books, saying he was on his way back from a used bookshop. We identified the defendant as the owner of the books and arrested him. All books, you say? Here's a photograph was taken the police shortly after the crime was committed. Indeed, there appears to be books scattered around the victim's body. Please submit the photograph to Cropper can be admitted as evidence. Not surprised the Japanese are all out of cowards. Even in the face of damning evidence, you still deny everything. Well, now the defendant isn't exactly denying everything. Susato? What do you mean by that? Sasuke has acknowledged that he's connected to this case in one way. Isn't that right, Naruhodo? Don't go, Stylus. You're the only one I have for this. Now that he mentions it. Yesterday, when we asked him about the gavel,
There was one other individual walking in front of me on that cursed road. He was wearing a green covercoat. When I was about to pass it happened. She suddenly let out a short cry and she collapsed on the cold ground. Terrified, I seized the first opportunity to flee from the cursed scene. I full speed behind you, back to my cursed flat. A green coat. It has to be it. The big dude was wearing a green coat. My word, this is the first time I ever seen a full color photo. The defendant confirms that he fled the scene of the crime. However, that doesn't mean that he's tapped green. That's just an absurd conclusion. At that time, the accused and the victim were the only ones walking on that pavement, which is to say, nobody else was able to stab the victim. Is the accused himself not admitting to this very fact? Ah! It seems the courts of this trial will be heavily influenced by this next cross-examination. Bearing that in mind, the defense will now proceed with caution in this cross-examination. Yes, my lord. I have no other choice. This cross-examination will turn the whole situation around. I'm sure of it. Cross-examination. Why we arrested Soseki? Hold that! The fog was unusually thin. By that I mean that one could actually make out the other side of the street. That doesn't sound very thin. Sure it is for the city, but I suppose the Japanese wouldn't really know that. I've read books as long as it's known as the Old Smoke. Japan is rumored to be a beautiful sight. Poppycock. See, it ain't so romantic. I see. As I'm here, all that fog causes endless problem, and especially on foggy days, it gets so bad that you can't even see your own hand in front of your face. Just the other day, I couldn't even see a coach until I got kicked by the horse. That's pretty bad. However, the day in question is in the bloody fog finally managed to clear up a bit. Much to the curing of any potential criminal, I'm sure. Hold that! How can you be so sure? It's simple. The witness said it himself. That's right. Such a great summation that yesterday, didn't he? Right. I believe the witness was an officer of Scotland Yard. You got it. Come on. Then we should ask that witness to testify. The witness will be summoned. Should the need arise anyway. But since it's winter, it's almost certain the area could have already been dark by 5 o'clock. Regardless of how thin the fog was, who knows if a person will be visible in the dark? Perhaps your tiny, distant island nation hasn't discovered the wonders of artificial light yet. But all the roads in the great capital city of London are equipped with gas lamps. Oh! The prosecution believes these lamps provide adequate light from them to witness the crime. Our city wears this shows the darkness of a man's past. Indeed, sir, she is our very city of London. So basically, in order to get to the witness to testify, I'll have to get through the cross-examination first. With the defense to silence, you may continue with your testimony, Inspector. The victim fell on the ground after she was stabbed in the back. Hold that! She was stabbed in the back. Yep, you can see it plain see here in this photograph. Yeah, there does seem to be a knife sticking out her back. And the victim, Miss Grace, is still unconscious? Correct. At present, she's recovering in Mr. Bartholomew Hospital. We're hoping you wake up before the trial. If only we could ask her directly. She might be able to tell us who the perpetrator was. Seems your client is a lucky man. On the contrary, the defense believes incredibly unlucky. The falls with a bottle is meaningless. You can't even stop your eyes from darting around. Ah! The culprit made around for it, but as he flew to the thing, he dropped the items he was carrying. Hold that! What items should those be? Those are also present in the photograph. You must be referring to these 3 used books, I presume. Yes, unfortunately, your time in the snow has left them damage beyond salvage. It will be easy to carry such a small number of books under one arm as well. So it stands to reason that he would have been able to wield a knife in his other hand. Our prosecutor isn't pulling any punches, huh? The argument that he held the books in both hands no longer holds water, and now our escape route has been obstructed. I'm loath to admit that he's a least cunning. So the culprit committed a crime while he was carrying those items? Yes, so it would seem. The items in question were all books, since he was in his way from a used bookshop. How that? You said the defendant had a routine of visiting the used bookshop every day, right? That's correct. He seems the bookshop primarily collected old works of British literature. I must accept my success. It's already a keen fascination from classic literature. You're not wrong there. The defendant's room was damn well near overflowed with old books. Could you tell us a little more about that used bookshop? Oh, fine. Take another look at this, the area around the scene. The closest used bookshop to the defendant's slab would be the Rack Reader. It's a small bookshop on the corner of Briar and Mirror Shells. By the by, the defendant's slab happens to be on the opposite end of Briar Road. After he brought the used books, the cruelly defendant took back to his flat. Will be this one. Map updated. Undoubtedly, if he took his road back to from the used bookshop, then he most certainly would have passed by the crime scene. Not a hood out. The inspector's testimony just now was incredibly important. Yeah, I agree. The most important part of his testimony is... Tattertales. Why does it say tatter? Inspector Gregson, can I make a request? I don't know, can you? Would you please add the name of the used bookshop to your testimony? I have a feeling this could be extremely important to you, important information. Really? Oh, no, I mean it might be a vital clue. Very well. Although I don't see the importance myself, with this, we request you amend your testimony to include the name of the used bookshop. With pleasure. He doesn't sound too pleased to me. It appears that the band is a regular pattern of a used bookshop called the Rack Reader. Objection! Hold on, Inspector Gregson. What is it? I'm busy, you know. It's about a receipt we found in Sasuke's room. The receipt is from a used bookshop. It's printed on the day of the crime and knows that he purchased 3 books. You found this in the defendant's room? The problem is the name of the used bookshop. What is the meaning of this? It said that it was printed at a shop called Tattertail's Book Emporium. Tattertail's? While it's true that Sasuke purchased used books on the day of the crime, he did not visit the rack reader. But what on earth? Inspector Gregson, tell us more about this Tattertail's Book Emporium. Sir, as they're town, there is one more used bookshop near the rack reader. But you see, it's such a small shop that we didn't even think the defendant would go anywhere near it. Objection! But in reality, he did. And this receipt proves it. If objection! And what is the point of this? No matter where he purchases his at the moldy tones, the conclusion remains constant. Objection! What are you talking about? Surely this changes everything. Naruto, here's a map. Oh, thank you. Look right here. If the defendant had shot with the rack reader, then yes, he would have passed through his way home. But he had been a Tattertail's instead. Then it's possible he didn't walk that way. Is that so? Well, depending on where that used bookshop is, maybe. Is it true, Mr. Attorney? Yes, though right now it's only a possibility. Inspector, where is Tattertail's Book Emporium? Well, you see, let me take a look. Tattertail should be right around here. It's on the east corner of this block. Well, how about that? As you can clearly see, oh, poor. He was seeing that our exchange student is more of a clown than we once thought. He never failed to make me laugh. He says without the slightest trace of a smile in his face. Well, I probably don't have to say this. But even if the defendant was a Tattertail's, he would have definitely passed with the crime scene anyway. Indeed, as we clear to see. I'll say it once more for the Japanese exchange student. No matter where he purchases the crap that multi-tones, the conclusion remains constant. I knew it all along. You thought you could fool us. I already done and said it. We got enough proof. Huh? Sorry, I couldn't get you. Could I get you to repeat that? Naruto, now is the time to stand firm. Soro, you keep quiet and let the prosecutor's search become accepted as fact. The girls may all make up their minds based on that. Oh, she's right. You should be careful reading the prosecutor's claim. On the way back from Tattertail's, we were gone through the crime scene. There is a fatal flaw in the prosecutor's argument. Explain your self-defense. My answer is right here. When he was on his way home from Tattertail's, if he were to take this route, he crossed through the crime scene, but roads often branch off. If he continued walking around this route, look, he would have been able to reach his flat without even crossing the crime scene. Objection! Trying to argue with a poor clown's rubbish missing is boring, boorish at best, but it is my duty. Most people will call that a very roundabout way of walking home. Remember that we're in the dead of winter. Why would one choose such a long detour? Well, it's the answer couldn't be any more obvious. You couldn't take the long road home. You wouldn't take the long road home. Our criminal took the simple route home, and his knife took the simple way to the back. Objection! But you have to understand. Because oh, I got it now. How can you accuse him of that when you haven't even asked him? If that's your answer, then I'm sure you must ask him already. And his answer, I'm sure, was simply, I don't remember. The defendant says he's always wandering aimlessly through the city, lost in thought. He claims that he was wandering home as always, so he doesn't remember clearly. Come on. Give me something to work with! That's enough. I don't think we'll want or need any more aimless arguments in this court. What would your opinion be, wise citizens of the jury? Well, even if he did take that route, as his attorney, he could just hold it! Regarding Lord Van Sykes' statement just now, we 6 jurors understandably agreed. What? This can't be happening! As of now, we have come to one firm, unshakable conclusion. Very well, now 6 jurors, the time has come. You've made your deliberations. Present your verdicts to the court. Guilty. 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 He says the jury has reached an unanimous conclusion. Our 6 citizen jurors and the brave resolve are the pride of the great British Empire. Naruhodo. I'm not done yet. This still isn't over. It's my final chance to persuade the jurors. I have to tip those huge scales. It's time for a grand turnabout. No matter what it takes, I have to do this. The fire in your eyes tells me that you have yet to concede defeat. Don't tell me you plan to parade your rights around this courtroom. Your so-called right, forgotten in some dark, moldy corner of the British political court. No matter how much you complain about it, every attorney has the right to call for a closing argument, and I'm doing just that. Then, from this point forward, in accordance with the rights prescribed by our legal code, the closing argument will now begin. Jurors, are you prepared? You should know the answer to that already, my lord. That attorney doesn't know when to give up. We all know that. Very well then. 6 jurors, state your reason and basis behind your guilty verdict. Judicial findings. The murderous Yap has already said it himself. A lady in green coat just fell over. Who else would the victim could that be? There's no reason we would have taken such a long road from the bookshop store. So basically, that guy just stabbed her right in the back. That's so scary. Look, I don't even care. Just get this over with. I'm ready for the verdict. Tattered Chill's Book Emporium is a great job. The rack reader, not so much. This is going to be hard. With some small exceptions, the reasons behind the guilty verdicts are clear. When the incident occurred, only the accused and the victim were present. Besides, the accused said as himself, he was admitted that he saw the fallen woman in the green coat. Furthermore, the defendant fled from the scene right after. It certainly sounds like enough basis for a guilty verdict to me. Even the judge agrees with their findings. Ugh, why do you have to run away from the scene, Sosaki? And seriously, an invisible criminal? Not even I can believe that! Ugh, see if you can walk a mile in my shoes. Naruto, now isn't the time to cry over spilled milk. There's only one way for you to continue this trial. Yeah, I know. I have to turn their verdicts on their heads. I need to convince at least 4 jurors. Yes, that's correct. Let's try to be positive now. Now, attorney, begin your closing argument. Yes, sir. I have to keep this trial moving, no matter what. Stop at nothing. Ryunosuke Naruto. Closing argument. The defense's rebuttal. Of course, Yao already said it himself. Just no fears. That guilty verdict sent a breath of shoot down my spine. Some of their statements are just a bit too irrational for my taste. Yeah, they are. They're relentless. And so for few, then definitely sends down chill to my spine too. But I have a better feeling about the ones that aren't that sad of him being the culprit. Then maybe you can use those remarks to an advantage. Definitely. Let's see if we can get some more info. Then, if two statements clash with each other, that's when you seize the moment and reveal the clash towards the season. All that. Excuse me, but weren't you? Yeah, so sorry for the trouble during the trial 2 days ago. Anyway, I thought I'd recognize you from somewhere. So, if I recall, you were a banker from the city. Yes, that's right. You're incorrect. Oscar Fairplay, and I have to put with a lot of problems thanks to you. Huh? I was all because of that trial the other day. Don't tell me you forgot. You didn't mean that y'all had like criminals. I did? Now there are rumors floating around about me and the police won't leave me alone. I had no idea. I'm really sorry. Well, whatever the Hatter's case may be, any suspicion about me has been cleared up. Now, I'm free to declare anyone I want guilty. That sounds nice, I guess. I have a feeling it's going to be decided against this guy's verdict. Now, we're about poor Mr. Lady first. How do you think he's going? Hold that! I suppose that's true. The defendant said when the incident occurred, he saw a person walking ahead of him wearing a green coat. See, that's right. That person was clearly the victim, isn't it obvious? And that means that she had a Japanese mustache as the culprit, but the defense says he didn't stop her. Of course he says that. If he had missed the crime, it's all over for him. Oh, he just happened to fall down in front of me. That's just a lame excuse. He was going to make up an excuse. I'm sure he could have come up with something better. I think such people like you dirty Japanese. Come on, lady, don't just lump all us together. Anyway, the culprit said it, plain as day. There was no one else in the scene. In other words, no one else could have committed the crime. Ugh! And no one else was there, then there's no question about who the culprit must be. Indeed, your argument is quite compelling in its simplicity. Thank you so much for your kind words. She's got me there. All that. No matter what reason might be, you can't deny the long ways of viable routes. Yeah, I guess it's on the map. Calabash Show, was it? Right, that's the one. Seriously, he's starting to resemble more Phoenix. But still, what's important whether to like the road or not, right? Well, I suppose so. Due to that, we arrived at the fact that there's no evidence he went that way, right? I suppose that's true, yes. On top of all that, the defense says that he doesn't remember where he walked, right? Now that you mention it, yes, he did. Winter nights are cold and dark. You want to get us home as quick as possible, right? I'm going to agree. Therefore, it stands to reason could walk where road to get home. You convince me more than I can convince him. Listen, it's not like I'm just rushing to guilty verdict or anything. I just need a concrete reason why I defend would have taken Calabash Road. You lay it down for me and might reconsider. Well, my sucks can take a long while. If we're going to convince him to change his verdict, we'll have to argue logically. Basically, the guy just stabbed her in the back. That's scary. No, I fail. When did I save? I did, but now that I forgot that I saved. Did I save? I think I did. Actually, let me just quick. I did save. It's just that I didn't adjust the time of this. It's just that I didn't adjust the time. Yeah, it's just that I didn't adjust the time of this, so it was that. It's just that I didn't adjust the time on my 3DS still. So, let me go with this. Hold up! What is it, sir? Aren't you that landlord's wife? The one from the defender's left? My goodness, I thought I would be his wife, but I'm a lowly maid. He's still on this charade, even in court! Why didn't you say anything about this yesterday? We had no idea that you were selected to be a juror for this trial. You weren't allowed to mention jury duty to anyone until the day of the trial. I was wearing the juror's guidelines, so I simply had to abide by them. The defendant, Sosuke, is renting a flat in your home, correct? That's correct, but he's only been there for about a week. You live under the same roof of his every day, so you must know his character. Does he look like the kind of man who committed a crime? Yes, well, I can say he doesn't. What? Just look at him. He holds down his room all day. He has a suspicious mustache. He just keeps darting about. He doesn't talk properly, and people gossip about it. People are saying things like he could be making bombs there for all we know. That's awful. How could they talk about him like that? He's just a harmless bookworm who wouldn't hurt a fly. I can imagine that must feel like. Having to make talk might be more dangerous than I thought. I don't even care. Just get this one. I'm ready for the party. Hold that! What's with your attitude? A man's life's on the line here. Shut it! If you don't get to work proud, I'll be my life on the line. Huh? A fancy pants lawyer like you wouldn't get it. I do manual labor and I get paid by the day. If I take so much as one day off, I won't be able to feed my wife and kids, got it? Yeah, that's all stuff. Every day I show up at the guild and they give me a job, first come, first serve. Lately, all the underground waters and gas pipes have been rupturing, see? I'm paid peanuts to work until night, digging up holes and fixing pipes. Then, does that mean you were digging on the day of the crime as well? Of course I was. Huh, come to think of it. That day I was working the nearer where that musty old bookshop is. What? Could this be it? Yeah, let me think. Merchant Row was the name, I think. Merchant Row. That's one of the roads of this map. You're fine. Please change your regulation fines to the statement. How about you just wrap up the loading instead? Please, I'm begging you. Fine, I'll do it. I was digging a merchant row all day when that lady got stabbed. He says that he was digging down Merchant Row all day when the lady got stabbed. I let ink. Let me just press the next one, just in case. Hold that. Huh? I'm sorry. Could you say that one more time? Alright, I said was hold it. So you have to visit Tattletale Bookshop Emporium? I go there to browse old books, and then I read them whole and I sip old tea. That's my life. They were so different. On the day of the incident, do you remember what time you went to Tattletale's? I was looking at books all afternoon, then I left the shop a little before 5 o'clock. That's my life. They were so different. 5 o'clock in the afternoon. That's right when she was stabbed. Are you absolutely sure that you have the right time? Sure, I'm sure. I remember like it was 3 days ago. Anyway, I had a really tough time that day. What do you mean? An narrow footpath on Calabash Road was frozen over. The snow had only just stopped falling on the pavement and I fell smack on the ground. I was knocked out cold. I thought I saw the only mother beckoning me. Hold on a second. Did you say Calabash Road? Yep, my house is under the corn pine, see? And our little footpath is the quickest way home from Tattletale's. You're 6. That statement might be important. Change your judicial findings to that statement, please. Sorry, Sonny. Could you say that again? I was wrong, though. Objection! There's a clear contradiction between these two statements. What contradiction? Explain yourself. Excuse me, you're a Teal and you're 6. Oh, yes, what is it? I don't think the elderly gentleman hurt you. Seriously? I put everything I had into that shout. Anyway, one fact has become abundantly clear. As shown on the receipt from the used bookshop, the defendant bought books from Tattletales and walked home from there. Did he say that he couldn't remember what road he took that day? Yes, so it would seem. But on the way home, the defendant did see one person. A person wearing a green coat suddenly fell flat in the snow on the footpath. Right, and that person must have been the woman who got stabbed. Objection! But is that really the right conclusion? What are you on about?
Were you listening to what your six, the old man over there, said? On the night of the incident, Beridian Green wasn't the only one. There was another person wearing a green coat who fell on the pavement. Oh. Huh. You don't mean to imply. I do. That person was our hearing impaired sixth juror. Then that means the person in the green coat the defendant really saw was that jaunty old man in green? I would say that is highly probable. After all, that old man had a similar body shape to the victim. Oh. What in the world? Huh? What was that? Could you speak a little louder? Anyway, what's important here is the location where the old man fell. Calabash Road. If the person who fell in front of the defendant was really that old man, then that would mean that Sosuke must have taken the long way home. There's one natural conclusion to come from that. There is no way that he could have passed through the scene of the crime. Oi, old man, what were you doing bubbling around a place like that? What's more, you just have to wear that confusing green coat. What's the big deal? Are you saying that old man like me can't bundle around town and sleep on a few roads? And I can't raise myself with the latest trendy damper coat? All that. Pardon me, my lord. I don't suppose you wish to revise your verdict? I do. I'm changing my verdict to not guilty. You are too. Then I am too. Huh? Even if it's just because I want to try turning the tables too. Boom! You did it, Naruto. That was incredible. Their decisions have changed, and with that, the whole situation is turned around. Yes, now all the jurors will have to consider their stances. It's really important they really think about whether they feel the verdict is just. And one more thing. If there's any more clues that could clear up the suspicion around Sosuke, then you can use this momentum to overturn the verdict. Right, I'll give it a try. Prosecutor Ben Sykes is trying to bring this trial to a hasty end. I'll do whatever it takes to keep that from happening. Now, defense, resume your closing argument. Yes, my lord. How that? Objection! There's a clear contradiction between these two statements. What contradiction? Explain yourself. Hey, why is he pointing at me? Whoa, what now? Hurry up and get this over with. Juror 3, may I have a word with you? Oh, sure, what is it? There's an important fact in Juror 5's statement. Here, let's compare what was said on the map. On the day of the crime, Sosuke bought books at this used bookshop. Now, on this day, Merchant Road was being dug up due to construction. In other words, the defendant could not be able to travel this road to return home. Oh, why, you're right. What do you say there, Juror 5? What? Well, I guess it's right. So the brakes on the road were smashed and the road was dug up about 2 yards across. Those hoity-toity ladies and gentlemen took the long way around instead. Then that means, in order to get back to the SWAT, the defendant would have been forced to take the long way. So we were seeing. Joe said, really? You said the following. There's no reason he would have taken such a long road home, but now you see, we have just established that he had ample reason to do so. You're right. My lord, may I have a word? Yes, what is it? Perhaps I have been a bit hasty in my decision. I think that we should continue this trial a little longer. What are you waiting for, Euro 5? Me? Fine then. I dug up this hole and I'm gonna fill it. The jurisdiction gets changed as a result of the defense closing argument. Now, 2 both guilty and 4 both not guilty. Thus, the court acknowledges the jury's vote is split and orders you all to continue the trial. Objection! Please stop drinking for that. How impudent of me to tip this holy grail after raising an objection in this halls of justice. And then go on to shatter it to pieces. I plead your forgiveness. But, Prosecutor Ben Sykes, I suppose I must revoke my earlier words. What are you talking about? The jurors lined up over there cannot be called wise by any stretch of the imagination. How can they be wise when they've fallen for rarely for a Jap's cheap deception? Huh? What is that supposed to mean? Objection! What deception? Everything I said was fact. On the day of the crime, that large man was repairing the road, correct? According to him, 2 yards wide section of the road had been removed for construction. Damn right, I worked myself to the bone that day and I only got 5 shillings for it. So, Japanese exchange student. Do you know roughly how long 2 yards would be? Well, I think, to be honest, I have no clue. It seems that 2 yards is just under the length of 2 meters. Just under 2 meters? That's shorter than I thought. As such, one could be able to leap across the missing road. Does that man himself disagree? No, that's about right. What? And during the construction, do you seal off the road in order to prevent passage? No, of course we didn't. With a hole in the road this big, all the stuck-up ladies and gents would take a detour. But the inner city kids wouldn't give it a hoot. They just jump over it. As far as I can see, the defendant is neither lady nor gent. It's natural to assume that he would take a 2-yard leap to return home. Is that true? And remember, the defendant dropped his books at the crime scene. There's absolutely no doubt that he passed by a road at the scene. He's got a point! And you, old man, on the day of the crime, around 5 o'clock, you are falling over on Calabash Road. At the time, did you notice any suspicious Japanese figure behind you? Well, who knows? I can't say I remember. You don't remember? Feel free to bet on this argument, attorney. Do you think the person the defendant saw was his old man? You have no way of proving it. Order! Saiban Sykes, if I may. What is it, my lord? You had such persuasive argument. Why did you stand and watch inside us during the closing argument? Obviously, our beloved exchange student is still seeing the sights. What could be more fitting than the sights of how fickle the juror's heart can be? But I suppose that's enough hospitality.
This is the end of your London sightseeing for today, attorney. What are you saying now? My lord, the prosecution requests that the next witness be brought to the stand. Of course. Lady, bring the witnesses to the courtroom. The next witnesses. Naruto, we heard about a witness to the crime scene a few times now. Yeah, I think they say that an officer was calling Yarn. One of the next witnesses must be that officer. No matter who the witness, no matter what the testimony, I will continue to believe in you, Sasuke. I'll keep believing in you until the very end of this battle. Witness, your names and occupations. Yes, this has been a long string, right? Do you think that this is an appropriate time to stop? Because I definitely want to eat. I'm hungry. Oh. God damn it, I'm hungry. Oh. I'm definitely going to end it here because I'm hungry. Yeah. Definitely will try to stream again tomorrow if I can. Yeah. Yeah. An Ace Attorney game can burn out someone because, well, the amount of text and, well, the amount of talking I'm doing. Still, I say I'm enjoying this game so far. I don't know. I had to really think about where does this get on favorite games, but yeah. I wanted to keep going, but that will be next time when I stream this game. And I'll definitely finish this because, again, 5th case has been complete. But anyway, thanks for joining. I'll definitely be seeing you later on more Gyakuten Saiban. Bye!